With COVID-19 vaccinations happening all around the world and a lot of really fast-paced news, it's natural for a lot of us to have some questions and maybe even concerns. So today I'm speaking with Christina Guzzo from the University of Toronto Scarborough to get our insight on the benefits and risks of getting vaccinated. Hi, Christina.
Hi, it's nice to meet you and be with you.
So as a scientist who studies viruses, what are the benefits of getting a COVID-19 vaccine?
A virus needs a host to replicate, to make more of itself, and to spread. The benefit of being vaccinated is that you provide a dead end for this virus. And the more dead ends we have out there in the community, there ends up being nowhere for the virus to go. And eventually that virus will die out. It will be eradicated. People talk about, they'd rather be infected naturally with COVID-19 than get vaccinated. Well, in fact, a real benefit is that your immune response to vaccination is far better. So it's stronger, it's more long lasting, it does a better job at protecting you versus someone who just got an immune response from a natural infection. And we see this, there's evidence of this in the real world. People who are vaccinated have much, much lower rates of reinfection, showing the benefit that a vaccination is more protective than a natural infection. And we don't have enough science and data and evidence to understand who might have a long-term effect from COVID-19. So vaccination provides an additional benefit where it protects you from that Russian roulette of getting infected, of taking a chance and seeing, might I be the person who has a neurological impact from a COVID-19 infection? You don't really want to play that Russian roulette because we just don't know enough about who's at risk for that. Right now, our vaccines work really, really well. They are remarkable at protecting us.
I want to ask you, Christina, what are the risks of getting a COVID-19 vaccine? Because nothing is without risk.
I want to be really clear that the risks are very, very rare, but they're also very real. When we think about the risks of these vaccines, we also need to put this into perspective, in terms of the risks of other medical interventions that we've all taken, typical pharmaceuticals, right? Drug treatments, prescribed medications that we all take, elective surgeries, and drug therapies that actually don't even have as high of a benefit as COVID-19 vaccination does. And so when we consider that, the risks and other risks that we take in our life, on a daily basis, I think it's safe to say that these risks are extremely low and acceptable. And I think we need to have faith in our regulatory agencies that when risks arise, we take them seriously and we act on them, we investigate them. But at the end of the day, we need to weigh the risks versus benefits. What about long-term risks? Well, if we look at sort of the history of vaccinology and vaccinations, typically all of these adverse events arise very early, within the first few weeks of a vaccination or of the treatment. So some people have been vaccinated for up to a year. Some of these trials started last March 2020. So we are well beyond that risk window period where we're wondering what new adverse event might come up. Whatever we've seen up until now can be very representative of what we might see for the next years to come.